In the summer of 2023, we had our Enjoying Art member hangout in California. And this summer, we met in Boston. The video I'm about to share with you was part of our meetings in the public garden. I hope you enjoy this pen and ink and watercolor painting. The main object would be the tree. That's just everything that we see. So in the tree over there, can you see that some light and some shadow? So how we're going to pick the interesting areas to become the focal point. I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to leave some of the grass at the front. This is the tree trunk over here, like that, coming down over here like that. And just put a little mark, and I don't need to get to all the way to the top. So I can stop that right here. And then down over here, and keep going. We can change the line or eliminate some of the line if we want to. I'm going to put it up over here. So this is tree trunk. It's all the way coming here. We can change the shape if you want to, but it's still a bit too early to think about the smaller area. So it's a thing about how we plan the big shape. Okay, right over here. This is looking very interesting. And using a marker, which is you cannot erase, this is totally fine. This is actually making you think before you do it. So I'm going to have this tree trunk, the branch coming up over here. You see that this line is a new line on top of that. Like that, this is good. So I'm going to also mark the area for the leaves, like that, a little bit quicker, like that. And then this all the way up over here. So I'm going to keep that, see a little bit more the edge over there, and then so you look as big as you can. And this I can let it off to the page. That will be totally fine. I really like this marker. The bottom over here, I'm going to start looking for shadow. But when you're doing a marker as the first round, you don't have to put everything, because you leave that some is going to accomplish by the wash with watercolor. The front over here, moving over. After you know their main interest, and then what you would do to start as you're going to start looking at the space that you have, and then you can select things and along the way. So I'm going to also moving these statues, very interesting, over here. And we're going to move that a little bit. This is very interesting. That is, I'm going to put that a little bit. So relate the size. You can have this move come a little bit closer to us, appear to be. So this can be bigger in proportion to that if we want to. So I'm going to put that a little bit here, like a little ring. You don't have to make it exactly the same statues unless it's important for your projects. And this is good enough for that. So on the other side, now I think about what I'm going to include. Also, this markers is very interesting. If you're not press it hard, it actually becomes very light. So when you make it darker and you pressure it a little bit more solid, okay, like that. This is good. Now this tree over here, and I can see this a little bit up the hill. I'm going to have this a little bit higher, like that, all the way over there. And I'm going to include that shape of tree. But the shape over here, you can see the shape of that tree. It's kind of like a competing with this branch. What are we going to do? Maybe just let it go. Have that a little bit, that kind of shape. That's just fine. Over there, right? That's just fine. I'm also going to keep some of a little bit tree over there, the very green color. But this is really interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have this actually come down all the way to the ground, like that. We want to, like that. Keep going. And, all right, and then we're going to keep that branch on the other side in the shadow. And feel free to change it, okay? The small tree over there, we don't have to include that. So I'm going to let go of that. So I'm going to have these trees coming over here, like that, make a little bit curve. And here you go, like that. Over here, that's the tree. I'm gonna have the tree over here too. And doing the pen and ink and wash, very important to give it enough line, because after you wash it, you feel like there's just not enough thing to holding on. It doesn't make it look interesting enough. So you have to draw enough before you start the watercolor wash. And you see there are two people over there? That's kind of interesting. I'm gonna keep them, put them together. And here you go. And here you go. Two interesting people like that. And at the body, don't make it bigger, too big. I'm gonna have that girl over there. And the hair coming down is so sweet, right? And let's keep that over there. And here you go. There you go. Now adding two people over there, making a little bit interest, right? So here we go. That's the other side. I'm gonna have a little bit flower over here. So I'm gonna have a little bit colorful over here. So I'm gonna have some of the branches, the leaf coming down over here. I was focused more on the bigger shape. Like here you go. Now over here like that. Now I'm gonna coming over here. Now I'm gonna looking at get a little bit more serious now. Now I'm gonna draw a little bit thicker line. This branch is very important to me. So I'm gonna push it down all the way over here. Okay, now here you go. And the top over here, I usually have a little bit lighter, like that. Here you go, like that. And coming over. Yeah. That's good, like that. That's one branch. And this coming down, that's already good enough. If you want, you can draw a double line, so make it even more, a little bit more stronger line, a heavier line. Okay, I'm over here. So a double line, that's totally fine over here. Now I'm going to have that, have a little line like this. Now holding on your urge to start wash. Okay, give it enough details in here. Okay, like that. And then coming down over here, there's a sketch. And there's the shadow over here. Feel free to give a little bit more a group of line. That's good. So over here, I don't need to do it. Like that. I want to give a little bit room for watercolor. This is kind of flat. I don't want it to be flat. I just think about maybe like this, going up. And this, see a little bit more at the top, like that. That will look a little bit more interesting than look like a straight flat line at the top. So those things you can change it however you want. So now here you go. Like this, coming down over here. Now see this, the interesting and also going to be brown color. So you can make quite a bit of changes and make it the way you want it. Okay, now coming down at the bottom over here. And you see the bird, very interesting. I want to include a couple birds over here, the doves over here. Okay, like that. Oh, okay, that's, well, you don't have to make it very clear that, let the people guess like that. Okay, that's all right. They look like that, and then the little bird, the neck over here. That's fine, right? And there's a lazy one over here, the front over there. Yeah, I'm gonna have that a little bit, feel a little bit more warmer color over here. And also the front over here is very, very open. I definitely going to cover it with the cast shadow. Like that. Look at that, the cast the shadow. I'm going to move that over here. This is good. I'm going to have quite a bit of cast shadow. Make a little suggestion shape over there. So this could be a little cone shape size because over here is not much competing. Okay, like that. Yeah, a little big shape. And put a little shape, open up. A little line, like that, a little branches, and over here, that will be, that's just the outside shape. And there's an interesting little branch over there. Let me show you on the top over there, like that. This is good. So have fun with this. Now be a little careful. So all those lines coming together looks like competing. That's gonna, when you have something like this, it's making this to become a lot more attention. So in that case, I'm gonna have some of the things that block it out, and some of the branches, the shape, like that. And over here, I have a little bit more of the shape of the branch. And I'm gonna have a little bit gap over here, just a little bit gap, and showing that little bit, have the little sky over there. Now I come back over here. I'm gonna start looking at this shape, and here you go. Look at that. That's beautiful. I got see that this branch, and I'm gonna have this change the shape a little bit, coming over here. Now I'm gonna see that this is the shadow. But you don't have to make it too much of indication of the shadow side of the branch. You can keep just a little bit. Sometimes you don't have to indicate the shadow at all, because you can wash it, right? At the bottom over here, and take a look at that, down and up, and then over here. And this is good. That's good. And then continue, and over here, if you want to make it a little bit more clear, there you go. Give it enough. Over here, now I'm gonna indicate a little bit. So inside the tree area, and there's also some area a little bit even more interesting than other part. That would be here. I want to keep that to be a very, very standing out, most the contrast. I want to include the lady over there, but now I see I already have the two shape over here to put people. Oh, look at that. I can include her in there. Okay, all right, later. I'm gonna put that girl over there. So making sure that girl is a little bit smaller than those people, because otherwise they look like a very odd. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, typical. They change around. So I'm gonna have to reverse it. All right, that's just good enough. That's just the one shape. But that person over there on the other side, it looks like the classic shape, kind of the people wearing the letter, what's that? The swan feather. And, and there's a person over here on the wheelchair. Okay, I'm gonna include her. Sometimes is less is more. Like that could be good enough for her over there. And I want to indicate she is on the wheelchair. And probably this is good enough. Like that. And this also I want to include some of a little bit railing over here. Like that. And another one over here. Just think about what is needed and just include them. Okay, like that. I'm going to have that coming a little bit tilted and coming all the way here. So kind of after you indicate what you want, what's the main area, main objects, and then you're going to just relax and just have fun. And then I don't want to have that so all look the same shape, same size. Now looking at the behind over here, we can have that's right, that's just the little bit green grass. I'm going to put that over there. But what about outside over here? So that's a good place that we're going to use something very, this is good. I'm going to have a little branch over here. That's a little branch. Okay, coming over here, but a little bit too much parallel. I don't want that too much parallel. And I have a little bit shape over here. This is shape. We're going to wash that a little bit lighter than the others places. Okay, like that. And a little bit more, a little bit at the front. Like over here, we're going to have something a little bit more. A little bit front over here. That's good. Okay, some coming up over there. And this is good. Now we're going to have some tree. That tree, I'm going to make that tree a little bit smaller. So I don't want to compete with this. So like that, a little bit. With that kind of shape. Have a little bit shape of the sky. a little bit, a couple holes. That's just fine over there. And then I'm going to include a little bit building. How's that? That tree, maybe include part of it. A little bit tree over here. So like that. Look at this is actually a very interesting shape, the tree. Like that. Okay, that's just good. So I'm gonna have a little big building over here. Building usually not that interesting in a landscape painting like this. You want to have a little bit more a free shape, free form. But this is good enough. Have a little big building like that. So the top over here, oh, I need to looking for something. So I'm going to have this lamp all the way top up over here. It's a lot of discovery. Is you have to like give yourself the license to do anything you want, and put it over here like that, and that's good. Now I'm gonna have this like important. You don't want to have this too nervous line. You want to have just like a. That's just okay. So however you want, like that. That should be fine. I'm gonna see a little big shape. Look like an inside over there, and this is look like a rectangular shape already. And this is okay. This is no problem. We're gonna have a little big branch, like that, and coming like this. Now we break the shape. Right? I can have a little bit shape like that, and here you go. Now we break down the area.
Wow.
There is a
question.
Tell me.
The it seems like the tree and that kind of. Which was the focal point, the tree or the?
No, the focal point is going to be here.
Yeah.
Never going to change.
Right.
So those will be very. So when we get to the wash, we're going to look into the relations. What is the supporting point? What is going to be the main object? Over here, I'm going to have some of the shape, okay, blocking this branch. This branch become very straight, right? So we can do that, and blocking some of the area like that. And this side, if you think a little bit too open, you can bring this tree actually blocking in here if you want to. You can do anything you want, right? But it's your, oh, I don't like that tree. But how about that tree? I can move that tree over here. And so for now, it's going to keep it open like this. And let's start doing some wash. Get a little bit tiny red. Okay, here you go. Like that. That's in the sun. Okay, put a little bit over here, and everything else is going to get a little bit darker. Okay, over here on this side, I'm going to have a little bit tiny blue color like that. Okay, maybe a little bit warmer. Get a little bit tiny red. And a little bit warmer. Oh, that would be too, could be too dark. I'm going to have that over there, coming down here. So when you just do the, only thing about the pen and ink and wash, and you're most likely not relying much about watercolor. It's just the line, right? I'm gonna have that over here, like that. That's just gonna be interesting. And now also gonna put a little bit brownish color on the ground over here. That's just gonna be maybe too much like shadow. So you have a little bit more red and yellow color. It would make it a little bit more in the sun. Okay, a little bit more yellow into here. Now I'm gonna put that right here. You see, this is definitely a little bit different from what you see. That's just gonna be fine, like that. Now here we go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little green color at the front. The green will have a little blue color, right? Like that, get a little bit yellow color. And here you go, like that. That's just the grass. But I don't want very quickly, I'm going to start adding the cast shadow. So you don't worry about that. Now I'm going to get away from here. I'm going to go to the back. Unless you want something like a wet into wet. So I can have something a little bit over here, get over to the other side. Yeah, look at this. It's going to be a lot darker. But I try not to make it look too complicated in supposed to be a sketch. So I'm going to have this here too. And like that. That not much. In the middle over the tree over here, I'm going to put a little bit shape like this. Add a little bit more yellow into that. And when I have the shadow color, which is I'm going to apply it like a universal color. And let's do the sky. Have a little bit blue. Okay, this is good. A little bit tiny blue. And the little bit hole over here, and then as well as here. A little blue color. Now it slowly looks like something, right? I'm gonna put that over here too. Okay, now this tree, I want to push it a little bit more into the distance. But again, let's put a little color. So compared to those color, it will be for the color of the tree that is a lot closer to us. And here we go. This will be the leaf that closer to us, right over here. Maybe a little bit too much of yellow-green. So we're gonna have a little bit more red into it, like that. Here you go, like this. Here you go, that's good. And this would be the branches that closer to us. I'm going to have a little bit tiny, like that, and there we go. And have a little bit more green, okay, a little bit more coming in over here. And here we go. So I'm going to use this as the reference point to the color in the distance. Like over here. Yeah, those will be brighter, so you have to compare this. So I'm going to have this coming on the outside too, like that. Yes, that's good. So this is the tree at the front. And I'm going to also have, now I'm going to put the tree in the distance. So you have to have the little bit more blue and the red color. That has become the distance tree. A lot more gray, right? So I'm going to put that color. So you see this color compared to this color, it will look more as in the distance. So you may not really make it this color, but I'm going to put this color in here first, like that. But I still can make a little bit more yellow into this, and like that, a little bit more indicated. This is the tree, like that. Okay, so that will make quite a difference. I'm going to put this color in here too. So this will be in the distance. You have to do the reference, comparing between one distance object. I'm going to have this a little bit more like a purplish color into the distance, like that. And also you can put a little bit more blue, like that. Notice that this is definitely not really at the front. Okay, that's good. Over there, I'm going to have, even though you have a little bit more of this color, so you can still see a little bit more relatively is in the distance color. So I'm going to put a little gray color that will be good for the building. So, okay, like that. That's good. And this, the tree, put it right here, like that. So it's not as bright as here too. Yes, just something over there. This is good. This is in the shadow, right? This is in the shadow, this tree. And I'm going to have a little bit red and the blue together, okay? And this, but a little bit yellow too. Now over here, now I'm going to put that just like that, a little bit more, like a little bit darker color. That's just not going to be pop out that much, okay? Like that. So a little bit more shadow. A little bit more tree, like that. That would be good, like this. Now I'm going to come back over here in the front. Now let's talk about catch the shadow. Catch the shadow, as I said, we need to make it more uniform. And so I'm going to use the red shade of blue color. I'm going to put it here, get even a little bit red color into this. And if I put this color right over here, you can see that it feels like catch the shadow. But it's also very important. I'm going to have this even into here. You see that color on top of the little bit warmer color? Now you see a little bit warmer too, because this is the effect for the catch the shadow. Now here you go, like that. It's just important that you want to actually cut off some of the light shade at the front. I'm going to have something over here too, like that. That's also fine. Now, keep that in mind. I'm going to using the same combinations, right? The blue color, a little bit red color, like that. That's just good. And that is for the area, for the shadow, for the catch the shadow. So I'm going to put that over here too, like that. You can see that there's some catch the shadow over here. So kind of really fun to actually make it look big, like bouncing around. And now I'm going to also paint the tree in here. You can see now.
I want to go check out the fountain.
Now feeling it's a lot deeper now because we give a little suggestions of the branches, that the groups that actually are more on the front. Now I'm going to have the same kind of color. So this kind of contrast only for the object at the front. You don't want to apply to that tree because that is in the distance, right? It's like if we push it a little bit further. So we can put a little bit shadow, but it's going to be very lighter. Okay. Okay. Yep, exactly. And also not much contrast. Keep that in mind. Very important. I'm going to get a little bit more of this. Okay. Okay, here we go. A little bit more red with this, otherwise too blue, right? So I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to take care of the color for the tree, for the branches a little bit later. Like that. So you don't have to make it solid either. So it can feel like a little bit more like look like a part of the sky. Okay, here you go. Like that. You step on it like that. That's okay. And here you go. Okay. Now we can also doing some water splashes. Like I don't have the toothbrush, but you can use the toothbrush. Have a little bit more of the texture like that. There you go. Let's quickly cover the things. So this is the method, and for this outdoor sketches on sketchbook, and the first thing, as we mentioned about earlier, and you have to focusing on what is actually the thing that is most interest you, and find the most attractive object that you're going to paint as the main object. And then you're going to having other things to surround it. Okay, and I'm going to have a little bit dry brush like that. Okay, here we go. And some of the, now I'm going to have a little bit more like a dry brush coming over here. And get a little bit red, a little bit more the red shade blue color, coming back over here, and see some of the tree, the branches. I will come back to the tree trunk a little bit later. And this kind of paper also aware of is won't be able to create too deep of colors. So you don't want it to be too picky, like unless you make your own sketchbook with a quality paper. Otherwise, there's a limit, right? Okay, coming over here, and there's the dark color. We come to the tree in a bit. It's going to look very interesting. Okay, we have a little bit. So they're aware of that this is the light area. So outside the light area, it's okay to cover, like this tree. I cover that. I'm going to cut about this part of this branch. And here you go. Keep going. And here you go, like that. Like that color. So over here, I want it to come out a little bit more visible. So I'm gonna painting around here. So I have the dark color compared to the light color. And these two figures, I'm gonna have the little bit dark color around them too. And over here, a little bit darker too, like that. Okay, this is pretty good. Over here and coming onto the other side, I'm gonna get a little bit more green color over here. This is the piece of glass. Over there, I'm gonna go to the other side too, and maybe come all the way there. Now, let's take a look at the tree over here. It's very, very important that we're gonna have the consistent color. It have a little reflection at the bottom. Actually, the warm color over here reflected up over there. So I'm gonna make sure that we analyze that color. I'm gonna get this. Now let's take a look. I'm gonna have the shadow. Okay, like that. There you go, the shadow over here. And now coming a little bit to the front, I get a little bit more blue color because of this area doesn't facing to the ground. So those is going to more just gray color. Now we're gonna take this shadow. That's good. Okay, a little bit more shadow, just the blue. I'm gonna put it over here too. Okay, that's good, like that. And I have a little bit more line and a little bit shape coming here. There's a little bit shape. That's okay. And now coming here, see a little bit line, shadow shape over here too. I'm gonna have this branch, also a little bit shadow shape, the whole thing in the shadow. Looks like that we can make the color a little bit darker on the other side. Now I'm gonna cover part of this and become shadow, and even those trees, those branches. And over here too, I'm gonna have a little bit more yellowish. You see that? A little bit more yellowish right over there. Okay. It's kind of interesting and reflected the color from the tree. Okay, right there. Okay, a little bit shadow. And get a little bit blue color in here. Also a little bit warm color here too, like that. Kind of interesting. And down over here, not much red. And this, I'm gonna have a little bit more brownish color. That's just the color of the tree. I'm gonna put it over here. Seeing that? That is in the shadow. Hey, ladies. Okay, over here, and coming that, I'm gonna make this whole area, and this is the gray brown color. Now I'm gonna change the color. Coming here, is that this is good shadow. Okay, now this is good. The tree have interesting color enough, so I'm gonna have a little bit shadow at the bottom. This whole branch, this block, it needs to be in the shadow. Okay, like that. I'm gonna block it. Okay, like this. This is good. Now I come back over here. Now I do want to maybe have a little bit tiny shadow shape. Okay, like that. But those shadow shape, it'll be a lot lighter than the color over there. Okay, like this. Okay, this is good. And maybe a little bit shadow shape. This is very much like just the gray color. I'm gonna have that. Okay, suggesting a little bit the building. And that's, I'm gonna have a little bit darker color because this pole is right in front of us. So I'm gonna have that all the way. Okay, make it stand out a little bit more, that's fine. I'm gonna have just put these two colors both on my brush, and that's still. Now I'm gonna have a little bit brighter, like right over here. That's fine, like that. And the color actually dries pretty quick on this paper. I'm gonna have that a little bit. and there's a little bit green color. And take a that's the a little bit green, but more like a blue, green, blue color. Okay, this color is going to be very confusing. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to have that. This is the sculpture. Yeah, like this. Now I come back over here. I'm going to make something a little bit deeper, stronger. So what I'm going to do, the deeper, stronger color is just the red and the blue color. Okay, here you go. Put these two colors together. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to put this. Okay, here you go. As I'm going to have a little bit more blue. Okay, a little bit stronger, like that. I'm also going to have a little bit stronger color over here too. Okay, that's good. A little bit over here. And here. Okay, and that's good. Now also going to use this color as the catch the shadow color from this tree, like that. And okay, coming over here. That's good. So the tree, a lot more. A little bit more shadow over here too. Okay, here. Now I'm going to have that little bit shadow, a little bit darker down over here. We don't have to describe everything so clearly. Okay, that's good. Okay, a little bit more. Some dry brush coming up over here. Now maybe a good time to have a little bit more, look a little bit intermediate distance. Okay, a little bit more, a little bit brighter, closer. And now I'm going to have a little bit red color over here too. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. A little bit brighter, warm color, and put it right there. Like that too, and maybe put it over here too. And it's a little bit softer over there. And now I'm going to do a little bit more just the green color, a little bit brighter green color. Okay, too much blue, so get a little bit more of the yellow. Now I'm going to making that reinforce the area that is pop up at the front. This, okay, a little bit more like that. And do you know what? It would be really good if we have some opaque paint. We can indicate some of the area that is more at the front, pop up a little bit more at the front. So I'm going to actually use that, the little opaque. And this, I'm going to come to Now I have some gouache over here, and the gouache is going to have a little good touch. Okay. Whoop. That is really bad. Okay, that's okay. We don't really need it right now. Oh, goodness. Oh, very strong. Very strong. That's just good. Now I'm gonna, thank you. Now I'm gonna put the little gouache over here. And thank you. Ooh. That I'm gonna even give a little opaque white. They're all opaque paints, so it's because they're all gouache. And thank you. Okay, that's good. And that's good enough. So I'm going to use these two colors. and mix it together. And now I'm going to have a little bit light on top of the tree trunk, like that. And the same thing over here, I'm going to have this on top of this tree, blocking it by having the opaque. Okay, like that. See that that's just no doubt. This is right at the front, right? And I can do that over here too. And I have some of the color. And using this yellow and this. If you need to, you can also take the other colors, mix into it, take the color, but you don't want to take the white into that. It will become pretty messy when you do watercolor, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna have that. I don't do this too much, like that, just a little bit at the front, like that. Try to make it just solid paint, okay? If you want to if you have it like a half translucent, after you dry it doesn't really stand out that much. Like that, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. A little bit, some more over here. That, making it interesting, right? So this is only applied to the objects, like the tree in this case, it's right at the front. Okay, you don't want to put it in the distance objects. Like that. Okay, put something over here too. Let's make it look more interesting. And maybe, you know, if you feel like there is something not there, but can I make it up? Yeah, that's just your freedom to do anything you would like to. So that's just good enough. Now, second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to dim down everything because I said that I want that to be the center point. So how can we do that? And that's just fine. I'm going to just take the blue color. We only have the three color, right? Blue color and red color. And I'm going to make this even deeper. When you have that deeper, and the areas that not deeper will become more of the standing out. Okay, like that. We can have that a little bit deeper, like that. Even the tree over there can have a little bit deeper. I'm gonna have that. Also, I want to probably have a little bit more white. Put it right there, like that, like that. Even more interesting. Now have a little bit more blue and putting in the sky over here too. And that will dip down a little bit. So when you are painting outside, you have the whole world in front of you and you can modify anything you want. Okay, now I'm gonna make this even a little bit deeper. See that now is a lot deeper, but still in the sun. Okay, so like that. Yeah, now the tree will become more interesting, like that. I'm gonna also have a little bit red and put it into here as well. Yeah, and a little bit richer right there. I'm gonna have a little bit red color and the blue color, and I'm gonna put that into here too, in the tree over here. There's a lot of things we can do, and you don't need to be too worried and careful about that. If I do that, it's gonna ruin the painting. Okay. If you don't do that, you won't know, right? So it's just do it to see whether or not it's gonna ruin it, or you can make it actually a surprise yourself. Okay, like that. So this, we can still make it a little bit tiny green if we want to, but we don't want to bring out the contrast. Okay, so that's just good. Like that. Still, I feel like there's still a lot more we can do. And squint your eye so you don't staring at one particular area. I'm gonna have this little bit dark color. You see that? You see that? Like that. even a little bit deeper, like that. Here you go, like this. Connect to the tree. Let's go. The shadow. Catch the shadow over there. And you're right. If we have bigger paper, we have a lot more we can do, right? But if you don't, you're also good too. You just have more, a little bit. You can do less, but focusing on the whole connection. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker. That is here you go. That's the gap. Here we go. And like this. Here we go. Like that. There's tree trunk. And on this side, I do want to have a little bit dark color over there because that looks a little bit lonely. I'm going to have that a little bit softer. Like that. So if you think, oh, that's too dark, okay, throw a little bit gouache white. That's fine. Oh, that looks so interesting. A little bit texture. Is that right? You're so pretty. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, this catch the shadow, we can actually make it a little bit darker if you want to. So kind of interesting. I'm going to get a little bit red over here. And I'm just thinking about maybe if we throw a little bit of this, a little bit red into this. Okay, break the shape a little bit to see how it looks. Okay, bring a couple colors of the gouache to see how that is going to do to make your painting more dramatic. Okay, now I'm going to have this, get a little bit tiny yellow into here, and we can maybe in the shadow area. And ooh, that actually feel quite different. And now I'm going to have a little bit more yellow and the red. I'm going to put that into the middle over here, this color. And do you know what this is? Looking at specific over there, I'm going to get a little bit more blue right in here. You see that? Right over there. Oh, that's good. I'm going to have that catch the shadow, a little bit more appearance. Now I'm going to have this color right over there. So yeah, if we have a little bit bigger paper, and this is going to be a lot more options, right? So here we go. Now I'm going to have a little bit white. And I'm going to have this area a little bit lighter, like that. That's good. Cool. I'm going to have a little bit light coming into the shadow over here too. It's just showing the option that is what we can do when we are in a park like this. And okay. This is gouache, yeah. There's a little bit yellow gouache. I can actually have a little gouache color over here. Okay, so that's a little bit tree in the back over here. Okay, I can have a little bit gouache white over yellow over here, like that. That's just the little bright color flowers. Can do it like that too. Just something. Over here, the bird is no longer here. Just put a little color over there, and then the couple over there, the people over there, we don't have to touch it. Okay, it'll be fine. And so this is a little bit quick, exercise. Let's see how we can do with a so small sketchbook as 5 by 8 inches. And I do want to actually, if the bigger paper, you definitely can paint the people in the details. I'm looking forward to our next community get-together, and I hope you'll be there. Thank you for being part of our Enjoying Art family.